You like that, don't you? You love that, don't you? Yes you, are going to learn how to install a real backsplash.
Heat waves shimmerize in the sand.
What in the fresh heck was that? It's April. 3 days ago, we froze in April. We are in Texas. WTF. Our trees were leafing, the flowers were blooming, the bees were buzzing, the sun was shining, the chickens were getting their swimsuits out, getting ready to have a grand old time in the sun, and then wham! Old Man Winter swoops in and says, not so fast, not so fast. Killed some of our plants. So now we gotta start over. Super annoying. But anyway, I digress. We are inside doing inside stuff because of the horrible weather we've had in the past couple weeks. It's been windy, it's been gross, the weather's been bipolar. With that being said, that brings us to today's how-to video. Brianna, my lady, needs a kitchen worthy of her culinary prowess. A space where she can create her delicious delicatessens and scrumptious whatnots. First up, a beautiful backsplash. But wait, one more thing. Please, 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 if you may gift us with the gift of a like, or if you're feeling cheeky, a subscribe. Without further ado, let's get into the video. Thanks, guys. What's up, YouTube, or whatever you're watching this on? What are we doing today? A backsplash. As you can see, our kitchen is under construction. We are building, we are creating, we're installing a backsplash. What's a backsplash? This is a backsplash. And that's a backsplash. And these are examples of backsplashes. A backsplash prevents liquids from getting on your drywall. In this case, we're using tile because I like tile. That's actually what I do for my day job. Construction, remodeling. I'm a tile specialisto. It's not very expensive to do a backsplash, but you are going to spend money. What are you going to need for a backsplash? First of all, your tile. Okay, in this case, we're using porcelain tile, 4x4, beautiful tiles like this. Totally my wife's style. Moda Del Mar. Okay, we're also going to use these turquoise subway tiles. These are called subway tiles. You need your adhesive. Type 1 Mapei. It's a mastic. You're going to need a notched trowel. This is a used one. This is one of my old ones. You're going to need a margin trowel to get your mastic out. You're going to need a level. That's going to be your best friend. I have a 2-foot level and a torpedo level. You need small levels unless you're doing a big backsplash, but in this case, we're teaching you how to do one, so we're going to do a small one. You're going to need a square. You're going to say, wait a minute, that's not a square. That's a triangle. It's a square. Look harder. Why do they call it a square? It's a construction term. Don't worry about it. You don't need to know that. You are going to need special tools. You're going to need something to cut your tile with. I have a grinder. I also have a fancy tile saw. If you don't want to spend money to buy a tile saw just to do a backsplash, I don't recommend you do that. Get yourself a grinder. You can get a grinder, maybe $50. I'm going to show you my tile saw a little later. You're going to need tarping. You don't want to get your area full of glue, full of a big mess, especially if you get a wife. She won't appreciate that. So if you don't have a wife, you're probably not building a backsplash. If you don't have a wife and you want to get a wife, learning how to do a backsplash is going to help you get a wife. For all those single guys out there, you're going to need a tape measure. I hope you know how to read a tape measure. It's pretty basic. Let's get to it. It's going to be fun. Oh, before I forget, you will need grout, but I'll show you that later. All right, got your wall. Pretty sure you guys have one at your house. You got your tarp down because you don't want to mess up the countertop, even though we're going to replace that too. You're going to have to remove your outlet covers and pull out your outlets. So this is where it gets a little tricky. You can do it. Unscrew the one screw it has right in the middle. This is an American home. So if you're watching from not America, I don't know what you got going on, but take that out. There's your outlet in all its electric danger. But what we're going to do is unscrew these. So you'll need a simple screwdriver. Okay, it is live. So we do have electricity going to it. For safety purposes, I'm going to advise you to turn off your breaker that goes to the area in which you're working. Before you do this, that way you're not shocking yourself. All right, again, I did not turn off my breaker because I've done this before. So I know what I'm doing. Have I been shocked? Yes, I have. Multiple times. But a little electricity never killed anybody, right? Okay. All right. You know what? We have technology. So then you very carefully pull out. All right. You just need to pull it out enough for you to slide your tiles behind these metal bits here. So you need your tile to go behind these metal bits, okay? It's very important, and you're going to see why at the end. Not too far beyond where this screw is not going to be able to go back into the hole. You're going to need your torpedo level or your 2-foot level. Let's just check to see what our level looks like. So that's pretty level. As you can see, the little bubbles right in the middle of those 2 lines. That means we're pretty level here. We're not going to need to shim it or nothing like that to get our backsplash to look level. That means less work for us. We're not going to come over here. That's just out because we're doing construction. Aww. Okay, anyway, let's get your tiles and let's get your mastic. Remember, your mastic is your glue, your adhesive. Perfect for backsplashes. Don't put too much, don't like adhesive the whole thing and then come back and try to rush it. That's, mistake numero uno for novice people, your Joe Schmo or whatever you want to call them. What do they call? What are they called? Average people, baby? New peepees? For all you new peepees out there, you're going to need a sponge and a bucket. You don't want to mess around with a wet sponge around a live outlet. Okay, that's no bueno. You're going to hit it. I've done that before. The electricity travels through the wet sponge into your hand. So that's fun. Get your tiles. We're going to get a few tiles ready. Stack some tiles here. We're just going a straight pattern. These are 4x4 tiles. This is it's called a straight pattern. It's straight lay, right? You're also going to need your spacers. I like using these U spacers. They're 1/8 of an inch thick, kind of thin. This is going to make a nice little grout line. What some people like to do is start with the spacers on the bottom, just in case you got level issues. Say your countertops are rarely level. We're a little off. You can see that the bubble is going that way. That means we are higher here than we are over here by a little bit. Honestly, it's negligible. I suppose I will start with a gap under here so we can have a grout line underneath it. So these tiles are going to border. We are going to go out a little bit because we're going to actually put a veneer over our countertop. Let's go out a 1/2 inch. If you have a good countertop, just go flush with your countertop. There's all kinds of options you can do. They have like for your edges and stuff. They do have Schluter, which is like a plastic or metal edging to hide your tile edges. We're going to go up about 3, and then we're going to frame it with our turquoise tiles. This is just showing you the basic idea. We're going to start. Get your notch trowel. I recommend you don't buy a fancy trowel for mastic. It gets really hard really quick. That's what she said. Anyway, this is a family-friendly show. You can either spread it on the wall or you can spread it on the tile. We're going to go ahead and just put the mastic right on the tile, like so. Try not to get any on your edges. Okay. There you go. Adhere it to your wall. Make sure your spacers are down here. I'm going to go ahead and go a 1/2 inch out. Cool. So now, we're not going to glue this on yet, okay? We're just going to get the space. That's right on the money right there. Flush with my towel down here. I'm going to make a mark on the wall. Make a line right here. A lot of these tiles are different. They have different designs on them. There's going to be duplicates. They're going to, there's only so many patterns you have in a box of tile. So they're going to repeat. So you're going to want to make sure you don't put those side by side together because you can tell it's obvious. Okay, so there we go. You put your spacers. See how the spacers act as a spacing between your tiles? Again, if you want to work quick, you can. But if you're just doing this for the first time, take your time with it. It's fun. So here's where we're going to have a cut. Okay, see here? Tile won't fit under there, right? Oh no, it can't go. Also, if you leave your mastic open for too long without touching it, it will dry up on you. If something happens, you got to leave the job site, you got to do something else. Close your mastic. Clean your tools. Clean your tools. Get your marking tool. You can either measure it this way, where you're going to account for your spacer. Okay, you can measure this way. You can do it this way, and you can do this, but let me show you how the easy way to do it. You go ahead and put your spacer there. Put your towel on it, and now we're going to mark for this line here. Okay, I'm going to cut it right to the perimeter of the box, and remember, we want our tile to go under this little flap of metal. I'm going to go and just mark it, eyeball it about there. And then you're going to do the same thing for this side. Account for my spacing, okay? And I'm just going to eyeball it about right there. And get your square. It's going to mark your straight line. Put it on your marks. Put it on the other mark. And then draw this line. That's our cut. I'm going to put an X on it to indicate that's our cut. I'm going to show you guys 2 ways to cut your tile. You got your fancy tile saw and your grinder. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to cut the tile with the grinder. Wear a mask. You don't want to be breathing in the particulates. Very bad for you. Cancer, okay? Don't do that. All right, there's a cut. Make sure it fits in there. See how the lip hits the tile? It's behind it. That's what you want. So now, let's go ahead and glue it on. Masticate it. Masticate your tile, baby. Edges nice and clean. Our spacers on there. There we go. All right, so y'all gotta pause the chit chat with the wife every once in a while. I gotta make sure she feels loved and not ignored.
I didn't know you were filming. I'm so sorry. But thank you. Yes, I love you.
That's what this is for after all, is to please the wife. If you don't got a wife, once you learn how to do this, you can get yourself a wife.
You know what Jordan Peterson called it? Productive generosity.
Productive generosity.
It's one of the biggest things that women find attractive without even knowing it.
There, you heard it there first. Right there. There's a cut. Okay, I'm gonna cut it.
Heat waves shimmerize in the sand. Dust clings heavy like a lover's hand. Red sun above burns a hole.
To interrupt this backsplash session to show you another addition to our plot. And he's so cute.
Dusty roads lead me back to you.
Hello and welcome to the next day. It's set and it looks beautiful, and we are going to grout now. Part I hate the most about doing tile. I hate it with a burning passion. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna show you how to 45 a grout. I'm taping right now, giving it about 3/4 inch of a gap between the tile and the tape. This is gonna be for our grout. It's going to give it a little bit more of a traditional, like classic look. With our grout, we're going to do a 45 edge. You do need a grout float. I'm going to show you a cool trick that I do, that I learned from an old boss of mine that was a jerk, but he taught me a bunch of cool tile hacks. So we're using a wet sponge and wet around the tile. So it's very important. Turn off your breaker. I'm not going to do it because I'm just used to being electrocuted. So... you know, a little shock never killed anybody. But anyway, let's go outside and let's mix some grout up. All right, we got our grout. It's Mapei Ultracolor Plus FA rapid setting, but it does not set rapidly, so don't worry about it. You're gonna have time. Whatever color you choose, you know, it's the same stuff. You don't have to get Mapei. This is the same process with pretty much every standard grout. This is basic standard grout. Okay, about a cup of water is what you're gonna want. And then I got my drill with my little paint mix-in paddle, so we can mix it up. All right, you're gonna want to get your mask on. We got these cool masks from Amazon. They're super cool. They're amazing. You're gonna get your grout, so we're gonna pour in a little at a time, a little at a time. Oh, geez. So much for a little bit at a time. Pretty, it's a little watery. I don't like that. I see how it's kind of drippy. Give it about 5 minutes to rest, and then we're going to mix it again. And it's going to thicken up in that time a little bit. All right. It has been 5 minutes. There we go. See? It doesn't come off my hand. I think that's good. Yeah, that's perfect. All right. Ready to get grouting. We have to do this real quick so that Brianna can cook dinner and enjoy her beautiful new backsplash. The only reason she married me is because I do backsplashes.
Yeah.
Yep, that was it. On my dating profile, I said, can do backsplashes. She's like, oh.
That's the one for me.
Yeah. She was like, you know what, can we meet right away? Let's go. Get married right away. It was all her idea. She stole me out of the market. Because I could just do backsplashes. Nothing else. I provided nothing else.
And it took him 6 years.
To do what?
To give me a backsplash.
Oh. I made her wait. I had to make sure she was a real one first. I tested her to see how long she would wait without a backsplash. This is her first ever backsplash. I am taking her backsplash virginity right now.
Can you also take away my dishwasher virginity?
Oh, yeah, I was going to ask you on a dishwasher for that.
I've never had a dishwasher either.
Okay, so basically, get your trowel, put the grout on your float, spread it on in there. Make sure you get all your gaps. Get our grout. Now I'm going to show you how to do the 45s up here. This is not for a novice to do. I guess you can do it yourself. You bought a whole bag of grout anyway. You might as well try it. Yeah, why not? You know, the only way you learn is to try, right?
I was going to say, how are you going to learn?
How else are you going to learn if you don't try? And remember where your tape is. Remember how much space you gave. About 7/8 of an inch or to 3/4 of an inch here. Remember that? Okay. Because then you're going to take the edge of your float. You're going to do this. You're going to kind of like angle it. And it's going to create a nice smooth line like that. And then our tape is there so we can, once it dries, we're going to take the tape off and it's going to leave us a nice 45-degree angle of grout.
Starry nights make the heart see through. Home ain't a place, it's a feeling inside.
Alright, so I'm bringing it in here, and if you touch it, it should be firm, but not like super hard, okay? So firm is good, as long as you're not getting any like mushy bits. So then we start wiping, get your clean bucket of water, get your sponge, be mindful of your outlet, and just kind of in a circular fashion. You're not trying to dig out your grout. You want your grout to be nice and even and smooth. When you smooth like this, don't worry about wringing out your sponge just yet, okay? Because we want that. Because you're picking up all the grout right off the tile, and you're helping distribute it and kind of spread it into the little gaps here and there that you miss and stuff. If your sponge gets too dried out, bring it out. Okay, so now you get your sponge, okay, and just work it. Don't press real hard. Okay, just work it out, thin it out a little bit. Okay, smooth it. You'll be able to see it. I got my laundry washer right here next to me. Look at that. Beautiful. See? Beautiful. That's exactly what you want. Bam, 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 bam. If you can do that, I mean, you might as well be a pro. Go make some money.
Moonrise paints the dunes silver and cold, but your warmth is the treasure that I hold. Sandstorms howl.
Okay, it's kind of dry. This is a dry microfiber cloth. Lightly take off all that dust.
All the air. Dusty roads lead me back to you. Starry night.
Finito. Now you just learned how to do a professional backsplash-o. Very cool. Thank you for tuning in. Like, subscribe. See, all the things showing up on the screen right now. Like and subscribe. See, I'm holding the like and subscribe buttons. Click these. Thanks, guys.